So the medics are threatening to down their tools in the next 72 hours, not 72 days. So they only have 3 days to sort out their mess. And here's why the state of health, the state of hygiene could pose a lot of risk to you. The medics could be skilled, but if their tools are contaminated, the danger of leaving the hospital even more sick is a real possibility. There's even a medical term for it. It's called health-associated infections. That is infections that people actually get when they go to the hospital and get when they are receiving treatment in a health facility that is not very clean. There are several causes for health-associated infections. One is bacteria, the other one is viruses, the next one is fungi, and the other one is parasites. But there's still more to this. There are people who are mostly vulnerable to these infections. They're premature babies, new mothers, elderly people, diabetes patients, and patients who are undergoing chemotherapy, mostly because the immune system is very low at that point. Let's take these first two, for example, premature babies and new mothers. The reason why those two are more vulnerable is because their immune system is lower at the time of birth, and here are the numbers: 1.4 million births annually. That means 3,835 births daily. Of these 3,835, 13% of those are delivered through cesarean section. That essentially then means it's 498 cesarean births daily. These people are particularly at risk because of these particular infections: urinary tract infections, UTI, bloodstream infections, and pneumonia. If these are not treated, they could even lead to death. There's a more realistic angle to this as well. The reason why it's a problem is because eventually it leads to a longer stay in hospital, a longer recovery times, and rather heavy financial burden. By the way, the people also involved in the cleaning are not out of danger yet. KMPDU are not dead to this fact. They're very alive to it. Here's what they had to say.
Wanafanya kazi kwa sasa ni watu wa kanjo, just normal casual laborers, sio watu wenye wametrainiwa kuhandle waste ya hospitali. Wanaendanga kufanya course inaitwa waste segregation and management. Hawajafanya hiyo. So the people who are here casually right now who have been taken on contract are not trained.
So those are the issues at the Kerugoya District Hospital. But there is more. The Kenya Medical Practitioners and Pharmacists and Dentists Board has ordered the cancellation of Shalom Hospital operating licenses. Now, that essentially then means that it will remain closed after the recent case of a child injected with lethal amounts of morphine. The board, in a letter copied to the Cabinet Secretary of Health, highlighted very damning revelations of the hospital's operations. Now, I want to show you some of them. The first one they highlighted is that their patient attendants are the ones doing procedures they are not qualified for and handling drugs that are dangerous. These drugs are under the DDA, that is Dangerous Drugs Act. Inexperienced clinical officers are running the casualties on their own. That is also another major concern. Inexperienced pharmaceutical technologists are also running emergency pharmacies and administering the drugs that I mentioned, the DDA, which are drugs, Dangerous Drugs Act. And they said in the case of the baby, Mwendo, the procedure was simply not followed. But there's still more to that as well. They're saying that there are no senior doctors who are contracted for high-level care. The research also showed that the nurse in charge and duty nurse were unaware of the coverage roster. It went even further. It says the senior doctors called in an ad hoc manner. No particular doctor is in time, any given point on duty. It's just winging it left, right, and center. And that is the reason why they are now suggesting that Shalom Hospital should be closed indefinitely. The license has been withdrawn. The registrar number has also been withdrawn.